What up YouTube, and today we are back with how to defend series. So in this series what I'm doing is I'm teaching how to defend on every single map. So it's going to be one map per video. So this video is going to be about Chalet, and I'm going to go through each site and explain the best way to defend as a solo player if you were to play, and what else you could do, and to the best site setup so that you could actually win in ranked games. So without talking anymore, let's get straight into it. Okay, so as in every other video that I've done, so this time I'm going to explain locations, best sites to start off with, and then we'll go on, move on to the operators and which operator and which loadout that you would be looking forward to be taken more. All right, so the location wise, the best way that I would say to start off is usually second floor. Second floor is master and office is easy to defend. There's not many entrances, and oh, let me pause timer. Oh damn, almost forgot about that. So yeah, so there's not many places to enter from, so it's easy to hold, easy to defend, in my opinion. So second floor, which is then followed by dining room and kitchen. Again, not many places that you can come from. If you can hold side well and have one roamer, you would actually do really well on this one. The roamer can stay upstairs, roaming around the whole map on the top floor and getting the kills easily. So second floor followed by dining room and kitchen, after which you would come to snowmobile and wine cellar. The reason I third and not second or first is because there is a lot of openings. It's super easy for attackers to get through in this site and actually plant. So there's a lot of ways attackers can attack from, a lot of different areas and small details that they can use to their advantage. So that's why it's on third, which is after which gaming room and bar. Again, not my favorite site to defend personally, but it's always there. It's decent. It's still not going to be one of the best ones. So let's get started with the second floor one. Moving on to the operators and loadout. Personally, I run mute if I'm going to be playing solo, because the thing is, I'm also going to mention this, you do need a shotgun or impacts to make rotates. The reason being is that you need to make holes, these rotates, footholds mostly too. So usually I run mute shotgun followed with this SMG11. It's easy for me to play them because I like mute shotgun. But if you're not able to control SMG11 and you would prefer a shotgun as your secondary weapon, you can go like another operator, which such as like these days even Legion has a super shotty, so you can actually run that too. And Legion's TM's MSG is T5 SMG, I should say, it's not bad. Is an amazing gun itself. So you can always run that, but personally I usually run mute on my as an operator for myself. Once you're here, what you want to do is again make rotates. So once special best rotate is over here, it's a more common rotate. Okay, let me turn my volume down, it's too high. This is one of the main rotates. This is what you want to do, make it right here. Yeah, the reason being is this covers from the door over here. You don't want it to be exposed to it so that they don't hold all the way in here, but you also want enough so that you can go look at all the window right there, because that window is going to be super contested if one of the players really get on it. So you want to have one over here, and the one you can also peek it quickly over here. So you want to make this rotate over here, followed by these gonna be reinforced, these walls. You want to do it exactly how I'm doing it right now. You want to rotate. This is more of my thing. I've actually used this quite a bit. I have not seen many players use it, so it's not that common. You're probably not going to see it that common. The reason being that you want it to be open like this, so that you can actually use closet for the full advantage. Now, let's say you are in this room, master bedroom right now. If you peek, you can actually look at the grand piano. That's actually really helpful. If someone's already in grand piano, you can already look at them through here. They're not gonna, if they're over there, they're not gonna see much. They're only gonna see this area, so they don't know if anybody's over here. So all you gotta do is quick peek, have a look, and easy kill. And the reason you want this rotation is if you can switch into bathroom and then peek piano. You could also do that. So you have multiple options here. You can also use to rotate and go around. So yeah, this is a really good rotation hole, I would say. Followed by when you're in office, what you want to do is reinforce this wall, that's for sure. And reinforce these two walls too. I've seen people use a make a hole over here and use it to peek down there. I do not recommend it. The reason being, you don't want these walls soft. Because let's say they start contesting it, and if you lose this side, they'll just open it and come in and plant right here. You don't want that, so I would recommend that you reinforce all these walls. But if you feel like you have a 5 stack and you feel confident with it, go ahead, reinforce this wall and open this hole over here, so you can actually hold that angle too. But if you're a solo queuing, reinforce the walls. It does not really matter. Don't overdo it. Don't test it out. All right, so this is how it's gonna look like. Reinforce these walls, reinforce this, and hold the rotation over here. The reason being you want to reinforce this is so that they'll make the hole large and they don't hold the whole thing. And yeah, you can always sit in this corner and peek it, because if, let's say, they know you're in closet and this is not reinforced, they'll just wall bang you. So you can always be behind the reinforced wall. Coming around, you reinforce this. Again, almost the same reason, that if you're holding this, they can always bang you from here. That's also true. But the main thing that this is defending is, let's say they have a Hibana, maybe they open this and then they open that. So reinforce it. If you can, put a bandit on this one, because I've seen people do this and then they have the whole site controlled almost just from outside, which is insane. So you reinforce these. Again, I said, if you have a 5 stack and you're confident, you can always not reinforce that wall if you want to. But otherwise, yeah, this is literally it. This is one of the simpler ones. As I said, this is super simple to defend. There's not much that's happening here. And yep, don't barricade this. I've seen a lot of people do that. It's not good. Don't do that. Do barricade this if you want to. You can barricade this if you don't really have a roamer. This is fine to barricade. But other than that, yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys in the next side. All right, once you're in bar side, what you want to do, the first thing is break this thing. I hate music. Just break this thing. I've seen people stop music and it pisses me off. I don't know how they can play with the music playing right in your ear. Shitty music too. Like, at least if it was good music, I would understand. But again, I don't know how people don't break it when my teammates, like any of my teammates, just don't do it. It's so stupid. I could go on talking about this like forever, but anyways, we got to continue. It's a big ass wall. This is one of the main walls and like only couple of walls on this side. So you got to play this one more safer than you would usually. So let's say if someone's outside, you don't want to have a rotation over here or over there, so they can see it all the way in there. And I'll show you over the door over here too. So there's a door right here, and if there's a rotation over here, they can actually look in there. So what I have figured out, one of the best rotation holes over here is probably this one. I like this one because if, let's say, they're outside, they're not going to be able to see it. They might, if you make it too big, they might see a little bit of the opening, so they'll know there's a rotation over there, but they're not going to see through the rotation. So that's why I love this rotation over here. It's all the way in the corner. They're not going to see it. Let's say that they're at the door of the bar. They're not going to see it unless they come around here. And then again, they also don't see much. There's a whole ass thing over here which is defending almost like everything that they can see. So this is one of the best rotations I've figured out. Also do reinforce this, just so you guys know. What you want is footholds right here. The main reason I would say you need footholds over here is, again, if you see, you'd be able to see someone who's walking through here. So if someone's coming through here, it'll be super easy to spot their foot and know that there's someone coming through here. You also want footholds right here. Don't make footholds too big. I've seen people make like footholds like all the way up here. Like it comes like up till up here, which makes no sense. That's not a foothold anymore. That's like a rotation hole. So again, you can always hold it. So if someone's gonna peek the door, you're gonna know instantly, and you can literally kill them before they even peek it. Over here too, you can see it a little bit far too, which is even better. So if you're behind here near the rotation hole, you can actually see pretty far. So footholds over there is the best way to go. And you can also peek this with this rotation. So this rotation hole is one of the best ones that I've actually figured out. So do that, and do reinforce this wall. I've seen a lot of people not reinforce this, and what they really do is open it and they hold it. They hold this whole area, the stock area, and then you have like almost no room to go. If you have no rotation, you're done for technically. Then the side is gone. I don't recommend reinforcing these walls. What you want to do is make head holes all the way across over here, and this way you can actually look down to the stairs area and also hold a window. So this is what you want to do, make head holes all the way. You can hold it all from just these head holes. And what you can do is also reinforce one side if you want. So if you reinforce one side, you can see, like, you know, you have a bit of a headhole room over here, so you can always peek through with that, which could be a bit easier for you if you want. Otherwise, you can also use this area, or you can always use this like this too. So I do recommend making these headholes. They're super useful, very, very useful. If you have a mirror, it's even better, 100 times, make it so much easier and so much better for you. And yeah, that's really about it. You reinforce these walls, you make a footholes over here, and you reinforce all this wall, you make holes over here, reinforcement. Do reinforce those two up here. Always reinforce your hatches, never leave them reinforced. So yeah, that's about it over here. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this side, you can actually do a lot of things with this side. I love this is one of the best part of this side, is that like you can actually play around with it, and you don't have to copy me exactly, because this side has so many different things that you can try out. But again, reinforce these walls, I would recommend. Don't open any holes over here. But what you could technically do, if you want, you can make footholds down here. Now I'll show you how that's gonna look like. I don't recommend footholds again on this one. The reason being is that you don't really get to see much, like, unless you're like all the way back there, which is possible. You could be sitting there and then looking down there. Other than that, I don't really see the whole point of the photos over here, because it does leave your wall hole vulnerable. That means they can literally show there's a soft wall. They can literally breach it easily. So that's why you can. It's either you could reinforce it, or you want photos. It depends, personal choice. And see, again, this site has a lot of options. You can either make photos, you can, or reinforce the whole thing. So go with what your gut feeling feels like. And yeah, I've seen people coming from here, so I do send just reinforce these both areas. But if you're gonna have a roamer, don't reinforce them, or I mean, barricade them. Next, rotation over here, the most common rotation in this side, and works the best, works like a charm all the time. But do remember, people are gonna come from downstairs, and if they peek in, they're gonna have a good eye in the rotation. Do always remember that. So look at your corners. Even if there is rotation, this don't mean that it's free. Moving on, you rotate, you reinforce this wall because you have to. You don't really have a choice. Reinforce these walls. I do recommend reinforcing these. I've seen people open this wall and reinforce this one, or reinforce this one and open this side. I don't recommend that. The reason being is they again have a soft wall. They'll have a soft wall, and they'll leave it easy to breach it. So just because of that, just reinforce the whole thing. It does not really matter. I don't believe that they're going to do much. They're obviously going to bring a hard breacher most of the time, so they're going to breach it through there. But then you have a roamer who's going to be upstairs, so if they come to the stairs, they're going to see them and kill them. So that's why I'm saying just reinforce it, don't take a chance. Alright, so when you're done, this is what it's going to look like. These two reinforce. These, if you want to, I'd recommend reinforcing it, or you can have footholds if you want. Reinforce that one, and just don't reinforce this. There's no need to. Reinforce those walls, of course, and reinforce these. The reason I'm saying to reinforce these is because, let's say if someone comes from the top floor or someone comes from here, they're gonna do a soft breach on this wall, and once they do, it's gonna be fully open. So now all they have to do is just peek it and know where you are, and they have two areas, so they can quick peek from both sides. So that's not gonna be good. And again, if someone's down here, they can easily do that too, but they'll have this one. But again, don't leave this open, because your rotation is over here too. So if you do that, your rotation is kind of gone. And this also gives you a good cover behind here, so if this is gone, then you don't have this anymore. So I do recommend reinforcing this side. Okay, so here we are in basement, one of the more open sides, more harder to defend sides. So best thing is reinforce these, reinforce these. I've seen people make rotates. It's your choice. I just reinforce both these things. I recommend opening a hole over here instead of in the center. I'll show you why. And I can't break a goddamn wall. What am I doing? Okay. So the reason being you want to have it all the way in this corner is I've seen people have rotations over here. People have rotation over here all the time. Wait, what is this? Huh? Whatever that is. Rotation over here all the time, and I've come down these stairs. I've literally come down the stairs in the hallway, and I've seen people just standing here doing nothing, and as I get free kills with them. So make a hole over here. It's harder for them to see. If you have a mirror, then perfect. Just make one over here, and yeah, you can, or reinforce this otherwise. Don't need to keep this open, because then if they open the wall, they're gonna have this area. So you don't want that. Just reinforce this if you don't have a mirror. It's perfect and simple. Of course, reinforce these two. There's the most necessary ones, so do reinforce them. Don't forget about that. Reinforce this hatch over here, and don't forget to reinforce these hatches. These are the two main hatches that you do need to reinforce personally. Rotation over here. If you want, you can make a rotation right over there, but it's not required. I would say you can make footholds over here. The reason being is if you're behind this wall and you hear someone there, and if they already came in through, you can always look through the footholds. So that's also an option that you want to do, and you can do if you want. And again, if you have a mirror, do it. Otherwise, please keep this reinforced. Reinforce that. And yeah, this is really it. The site setup. Chalet is a super simple map, just super simple rotation site setups. There's not much complicated things. So that's really about it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.